All right, guys, welcome back. It's your boy, your host, He-Bop, with another episode of Toys in My Closet. And today we're going to take a closer look at the brand new Mondo 1/12 or 1/6 scale Masters of the Universe Mondo exclusive. And you know it because it has the actual seal of Mondo exclusivity right in the corner right there, of none other than Trapjaw, probably one of the greatest henchman villains ever created, alongside somebody like Starscream or maybe Beastman, okay? Or even Destro, to be honest. It's just that Trapjaw has such a wonderful, unique, villainous look that he's just, in any type of faction of toys that he's made, he always comes out looking really cool. And I'm gonna tell you right off the hip, I had a couple of days with this figure, and Mondo has hit an absolute home run. I think they finally got it. This is hot toy level quality at its finest. Maybe even better than some of the hot toys that are out there to date. So you see Trapjaw on this wonderful artwork, which I don't know who drew it, but whoever drew it, if it was Iman O'Donoghue or one of the other fellas, they did an incredible job. And you see that there's a Roton right there in the back, and I hope to God that doesn't mean Mondo's going to make a Roton, because they make one that's probably going to be another $500, and I can't afford it. I'm just being honest, and I would love to have a Mondo Roton. And you see how beautiful artwork of Trapjaw is. And then in this case, they actually mailed this out with no slip cover for the first time, which I think is cool, because not being able to add different slip covers, it kind of makes it tedious. So this way it makes it exciting. You just see the artwork, you see Mondo, and you see it says 1/6 with their new logo there. You see it says 1/6 scale figure, right? And then on the bottom you see it says Trapjaw with that black and bloody red, and same thing for the other side of the spine. Once again, same exact thing. Then on the top you get the wonderful He-Man logo with some blue shading, and you see the highlights of Snake Mountain because he is a villain. And then you see the background, the highlight of the Snake Mountain in this nice dark navy blue. So it says, "Power by the power of Grayskull, once a devoted henchman of Keldor, Kronos grew weary of the transformed Skeletors mania and raised an army to defeat him. But Kronos was struck down, and his jaw and arms destroyed, only to be rebuilt by Triclops as the wizard of weapons. Trapjaw now freshly escaped from the Infinita, the psychotic interdimensional criminal returns alongside the rest of the evil warriors to sue mayhem in Eternia." So there's the bio, which is pretty cool, and then some legalese there, right? And like I said to you guys already before, here is the Mondo label of authentication, or seal of authentication and exclusivity. So this box is pretty big, pretty large, because as you know, this is a 12-inch scale figure. So let's get him out of the box and see what he has to offer. But before we do that, let's open up the magnetic flap, and you see that he's hiding in that cover. And the first thing you'll see on your left is this wonderful piece of art right there on the side of Trapjaw in all of his glory. And then you pull this off, and then the figure is hidden within. And they packed them up really well, so I'm not even going to bother to zoom in, because all you're going to see is a bunch of white paper, as you see here, white tissue paper. So I'm not even going to bother, because there's no point. What we're going to do is we're going to take Trapjaw out of the box and look at him firsthand and drool over the magnificence that is Mondo Trapjaw. So sit back, relax, enjoy a digital drink, and hopefully you'll stay with me for the rest of the review and the rest of the ride and see what he has to offer, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So I'll see you guys in a blink of an eye. All right, guys, and here we are. Here we have Trapjaw out of packaging, and due to the nature of him being so tall, it's kind of uncomfortable to, like, review him because he's big, right? He's tall. But this figure right here is pretty much figure perfection is all I can say as far as what Mondo has been able to accomplish with Trapjaw. It's definitely a step up from what they've done in the past. They have listened to the feedback, I guess, from certain people in areas because of the execution that they've done with this figure. But this figure is an absolute striking piece of art. It is masterful. It is absolutely masterful. Probably one of the greatest 112 figure pieces ever made because of the design of the character and how he is, and also the quality of the figure itself. So I'm going to bring him up close here, and you can see right away, the first thing you'll see and notice is how well detailed his face is and his portrait, and the level of detail within his face and his mouth, his eyes having kind of like a lazy eye and one that's open. As far as the expressions, the scars in his actual chin area, and the mouth, the teeth looking kind of gooey and disgusting, and his tongue missing a lip. You see the level of detail on the actual helmet itself. It's nice and red, but with dirt on it and scuff marks and dents like of, war torn in battle. The pins that hold the jaw, the silver metal on the jaw from biting and using stuff that wore the paint off. Even the details on the bumps there, you can see on the top head. You get all that gray painting. He even has the little hoop for him to slide down, with string. Then you start going into the torso. You start off with the neck, the chest, the arms, all basic use, but with a lot of nice highlights. As you can see, all those highlights there, and weathering, to make it stand out and pop. And then you start to see the details in the fabric of the leather chest area with the leather. It got a leathery worn look to it, with gold and silvers. And you got little details of gold, silver, the spikes there, gold there, all the intricacies within there. The hand looks absolutely fantastic, and you see all that silver scuff line even in the internal of the gear itself, because it's all made out of metal. On the top, you got gunmetal bits with the pistons here. The weathering there of the actual piston. The back, you see all the beautiful circuitries and color and connections to make it work. This added bonus that they put here for another weapon, where it's like a actual it's like a what you call that, a clip where you can actually store the hole that has weathering and green, gold in the back, as you see there. Then you go to the arm on this side, and you see the top part doesn't have the traditional piece, but down here it does, with the mechanical look on both ends, with the green and golds, with the wrist brace, right? And you see how beautiful it looks, how absolutely the attention of detail is second to none. Then I'm going to take a look at the hand, the arm. See all that level of detail. The arm has even a piston on it. All the grays, like I said, and highlights the scuff marks with the gold. Even the spikes here on the claw. And the claw, you can see all the details on it. With all the weathering and scratch marks as if it's been used for many, many years. Then his traditional classic belt, the nice bronze and gold. The belt looks like it's made out of some type of metal as well. And all the details of scratches and, you know, more torn and patina, battle torn, with all that on the actual loincloth coming down. It's like another added piece that they gave him. Instead of being purple, it's like a burgundy red. And you see the weathering in black. And underneath you see that they put the actual loincloth to be real material, and it's in black. And then if you look underneath, it's got the other traditional black one. And if you notice, it's soft plastic. All of this, which is what they needed to do for a long time, because most of their figures always had a very, very hard, rigid plastic. Then you see there on the actual thigh, the green from the tops of their stiletto style boots that he has. He has like really high stiletto style boots, like the classic design. And then you see the skin of his leg coming out or peeking out. The other side of the dressing of the, you know, crotch area. And it looks like a samurai style because it has plates on each side. This is the back. And then it has more clips here. 1, 2, 3, 4. More of his accessories and arm pieces that he changes. And here's the thigh area. All of that beautiful, beautiful artwork in black with all of that metal scratching scuff marks. You see, he looks like he's made completely out of metal, even inside in the area of the pistons that hold the legs. That's just designed for, you know, for the articulation. And you see the bolts there, green on the boots there, as you can see, silver there, even on the part of the boot down here. All that level of detail and design, all the way down to the bottom of the boots. You see the front part, it has even a plate going over his foot, and then another pin there in green. And it's the same thing inside, as you can see. No area on this figure has been underlooked or overlooked. In other words, they made sure that they painted and covered every single area of his body, and the detail stands out. It's all there. He looks really, really incredible. And the best part is, like I said, Mondo finally listened. They put him in rubber plastic, which is fantastic. All the other figures before that had a hard, rigid plastic. And because of this, you're able to move him. And he feels more flexible. And, you know, the plastic feels really nice. And you're going to be able to do a lot more, articulation with a figure that is even this size. This size, like I was saying, right? So, what are the first impressions? You're experiencing them with me right now. This could possibly be one of the greatest 112 figure ever designed and created, and definitely Mondo's best entry thus far in the Masters of the Universe series and collection. So now let's take a look at what he came with, his accessories. Okay guys, so here we go. He brings a bunch of accessories, and you know, it makes a lot of sense because this is a high premium priced figure, but they really tried to give us a nice amount of range of accessories to give you a nice amount of range of display and posability and display options. So we'll start off with the separate hand, and you see all the levels of detail, the coloring from that gray blue to the blacks to kind of like a metallic gray back to the blue skin of his regular skin, and then you know this gunmetal gray with the green braces on the wrist, and back to his hand. You see all the detail, the veins on his fist, and this is because they give you the option to display him as Kronos, with the exception of one thing which we'll talk about a little bit later that's incorrect, but we'll talk about it later anyway. Then they give you a set of hands where you can hold, and they're basically gripping hands so that he can hold the weapon that he has that he can actually hold, which is a billy club. And you see that they both have the same design, so it's a left and a right. And then he brings two fisted hands because his other hand is mechanical. Then he brings a one of the interchangeable hands, which is a hook that he can shoot up, and it has real rope. I don't want to pull it out and detangle it because it looks nice and neat, and I don't want to have it dangling, but as you can see, it moves. It's actually real rope. It goes attached in there, and I'm pretty sure it pops out, you know. And then it has the hook on the side there, as you see. The hook on the side, no, right there, so that you can put it on his, you know, somewhere on his belt. Then it has a filmation nod, which is the fly swatter, which looks very detailed, very mechanical. Also with the gunmetal grays, with that wire pit going into this piece there that connects to give it like a piston type look with bolts and everything. And again, gunmetal with the hook there as well. And that's a nod to filmation. He only used that in the filmation. Then he brings the traditional gun that was there since the vintage toy. You see all the levels of detail. Looks like a nice machine gun or laser gun too, because it shoots out two different things. With also that level of detail from with gunmetal and the hook on the side, as you see there, so that you can place it and store it away. Then he brings the traditional hook he does, and this one's really big, massive, a lot of nice colors with gold plates in the corner, and it looks like gold metal plate, and a lot of level and attention to detail. And again, as you can see with the connector, with painting there as well, and the hook to attach to the belt. And then this is another nod weapon to filmation. This was also only in filmation, and this is wow, I keep dropping it, sorry guys. A bow arrow basically with a laser in the front, and it looks like a bow arrow, and you see all the reds, golds, all the attention to detail on this is fabulous, with scuff marks and paint wear and tear like it's metal, and it's been into battle and back. with the end part as well, and the clip to also store away. Then he brings the extra portrait of Kronos. A lot of nice details there. And this is his form, the actual spike on top. And the wear and tear on the helmet, as you can see. And this is actually what he looks like before he is turned into Trapjaw. Now this is probably going to be my favorite portrait. And this is the more square look portrait for Trapjaw. As you can see, it's more a square shape. And it looks absolutely fabulous. And this is like a nod, I believe. I think it was also Filmation or 2000X, one or the other. I can't really remember at the moment. But to give you guys an idea, I'll put them side by side so you can see. It's the one he had on, which is rounded. And this is the one that he has there that looks more square. And I absolutely love the square one because he looks just more menacing and dangerous, right? Like almost like a tank look. So I really love that. You can see the same details on the sculpt, for the face, the greens, the highlights, the scarring on the cheeks, the gums, the nose line, the top, everything, every single thing. Even some black, like, that is created from smoke on metal. Even the top outline here, this looks more like a metallic color with some smoke dent and effects on it from, being on fire and being in battle, of course. And then he brings this Mace Billy Club, really nicely done, with all this attention to detail. It's the top end with all these spikes in gray, with a metallic teal green, with all that weathering and black and gunmetal silver. And then here's the handle. It looks like it's got like metal pieces going around it, tied up. And then the tip in that metallic green. And it's a very big thing. If you look at the stand, it's pretty big, but lightweight, but feels sturdy. It don't feel cheap, if that makes any sense. So he brings that. And then last but not least, he brings the Mondo, probably the weakest thing that they offer you, stand, and with the Mondo logo in the back, in the bottom. And the reason why I say that is because I always felt that they should have gave you that stand with either a Masters of the Universe logo tampoed on here, or with a tampo of maybe a picture of each of the characters to kind of give it that pop. But again, at least they give you one, and it does serve its purpose. So that is what he comes with as far as of his accessories. So now we'll take a look at Trapjaw's articulation points. All right, let's take a look at Trapjaw's articulation. So we'll start off with the head. The head goes left, it goes right, it goes back very, very little. As you can see, his jaw way too high. His head goes back very, very little. It goes down hardly any. It does have a little bit of left and right, just a little bit. And then the jaw, obviously, as you can see, hinges to close, open the mouth and close. Then as far as the shoulder, goes up nice, that amount. It has the bicep swivel. Then it has a swivel on the elbow. It has a single on the elbow, as you can see. A ball peg for the wrist that goes left and right, and then in this case, you can move the wrists up and down like so. see, you could do it left, up and down like so. Or turn it, you know, depending on the position you have the wrist. Then you can obviously do the 180 degrees with the arm itself. Then it has the torso cut on the top here, which works fairly well. And this is where it pops off, as you saw, to change them into chronos. Then he has the waist cut, but the waist cut in this case, see how this pops off, is very hard due to the belt. Because you see how tight it is in there? It's very, 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 very tight. So it has it, but it's very minimal. And I think also they did it really tight to not have the incident that they had with the He-Man, Deluxe He-Man, just a few months ago. But it still does have it. Then on the arm, mechanical arm, he has the ability to bring it forward, back, up and down, 180 degrees. It has a bicep swivel. It has a single hinge. And as you can see, that's like a piston. Like again, then here on it moves what would be the wrist, and then obviously the actual claw opens and closes. So that alone, the arm alone here, has a whole bunch of articulation. Then on the thigh swivel, you have a really good thigh swivel. Then in the knee, you have a double that goes up that much. That's hindered, obviously, because of the design of the boot. Then in the bottom of the foot, here, there's no boot cut really, but there is kind of a little swivel turn there in the knee area. And as far as the leg go, and this is heavy, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, it goes back that much, right? Which is really good, but forward it doesn't go up as much for whatever reason, I guess because of the design. But it does have forward pin rockers, which is nice, and you can see all the level of detail even underneath his foot. So if he wants to kick up, let's say, his legs, he can kick up his legs a nice amount, but you got to move that because it is. But you can kick up sideways a nice amount, and you can kick back about that much, which is also a nice amount. And then he can't even do almost a full Van Damme split. So as far as articulation, for the size of the figure, the scale, and the material that Mondo has used in the past, this figure, so like I was saying, for the size of this figure, the articulation and the range you're going to get is a nice amount. So you'll be able to pose them in a lot of really, really cool poses. So I'll put this back on him really fast. As you can see, these two peg in here, right there, and then the other two peg right in the back, like so. There you go. Come on. They go pegged in back here. Okay, real fast. So what I want to take the time out now to do is to show you what Trapjaw looks like in his Chronos option form. So here we have it. Here is Trapjaw in his Chronos form, and I think it's really cool because it gives you the ability to pose him before he was Trapjaw and after he was Trapjaw, obviously. But this is also very dangerous because then it would kind of tempt you into having to buy two of the same figure, and these figures are really, really expensive. But the problem with him as Chronos in this form is And in order to actually have him look like Kronos, you need an option where you can have this part here, the crotch area, off and just show the old school vintage style crotch area piece by itself without this belt. But the belt is designed where it was sculpted together with the bandoliers that go down in the samurai style. If it was that it was a separate piece and you can take it out and just leave the loincloth in with, you know, with the real furry material, I think it would sell the idea of him being Kronos a lot more accurate and a lot better for, you know, collectors. Now, am I saying that is bad and, you know, altogether? No, it's still cool that you can still do this because it is a nice option to have. And you see, you know, the hand is there, articulated, it moves up, you know, he just looks cool. Like, he looks like Kronos. Let's give you a quick look of his face. There you go. And that's a nice option. So that's what he looks like, Kronos. Now we'll take a look at him with all his other accessories and the different portrait. Alright guys, and here I have Trap Jaw with all the accessories on. And I changed the portrait and put the one from that's more squarey. I used the bow arrow laser because I think it makes it pop more because it has the red and it complements, you know, the red on his loincloth and his helmet really well, or the burgundy, if you will, and it looks really, really good, as you can see there. And all of his other attachments are all hanging really nicely around him, from the hook to the fly swatter, the machine gun, the metal claw, and then the grappling hook for him to climb up like so. And then you see the Billy Club mace, spiked mace on his hand with the open hand, and it holds it really well and really nicely too, and it's nice and tight. Another thing that a lot of the Mondo figures suffered from the very beginning is that they made a lot of the weapons, right, on the figures really, really heavy. And then the problem is that the wrist area, for some reason, would be loose. So when you would put the weapon on, especially with Skeletor and staff, it always droops down, droops down, droops down because of the weight. It can't hold it up. In this case, the mace has weight, but just enough that it doesn't make too much pressure and tension for the wrist peg to droop down. I mean, it could change with time. I hope it doesn't. But again, as you can see, how really nice he looks like. You know, like I said, for example, with the actual laser bow and arrow, which this is the way I'm going to display them. But what we can do, if you guys just want to see out of curiosity, I'll show you what the other ones look like. So we'll do this, you know, machine gun, the traditional one. We'll do that one. So that's what it looks like with that one on, like so, which also looks very cool, very classic trap jaw, right? And very nice. Then let's remove that, put it to the side. Let's do the swatter, which this one I probably will never use because it's just too silly for me. This was something they did to be funny in the TV show, you know, for the children, you know, to make it funny for us kids back then in Filmation. to swat flies away, you see? But it's cool that they gave it to you. Especially for those who are fans of the formation stuff. I think it's nice. It's a nice added touch and bonus. And let's do the actual, what you call it, his actual pirate hook. Where's the piece for this? Did this goes a specific way? I'm missing a piece there. Look at that. It's supposed to come with something like that so that you can place it in. So I can't even use the hook. So that's a quality control issue, which I definitely did not see until this moment. So I guess I have to call Mondo and get in touch with them so that they can send me a new swatted, a new, what you call it, pirate hook for Mr. Trapjaw to make sure that I have it intact. Because again, like we said, you pay a lot of money for these figures. And again, these are quality control issues that shouldn't happen because you're paying so much money. But I'll be honest, I don't really know if that's something that's common with some of these figures, even the expensive ones, because I never really collected like Hot Toys and Sideshow for a long period of my life, so I don't know. But I do know, what I do know though is that I got let's see how the hook looks at least, and exactly what I want to happen is exactly what happened. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. What I do know is that I bought the Crow from Sideshow, and his articulation on one of his legs that's supposed to be ratcheted came messed up. So maybe it is something that happens even with these premium figures from time to time. And there is, he looks with the grappling hook. It doesn't look too bad. Kind of small because the arm is so enlarged, but it doesn't look too bad. But at least you see what it looks like with all of the attachments, with the exception of actually the pirate claw, because it came, defective, or maybe just it came without that one piece. All in all, that should not be the case, because again, paid a lot of money for these figures. When you pay that type of money, those things should not be an issue, right? So put this back up here, like so, attach it, and I love the way they drape, because they fall and drape and look really natural, like they hang from there really naturally, and I love that. I think that's great. So yeah, so there, I can put it a little bit size. So there it is, guys. There is Trapjaw with all of the accessories, with the different portrait. So what I think I'm going to try to do now is to show some comparisons with some other Mondo masters that I have. Well, guys, here is one of the comparisons with the Mondo She-Ra, and I'm going to be very selective with the comparisons and very little, because all my Mondo figures are pretty much put away, and they're very hard to bring out because of the weight and I have them displayed, and just I don't want everything to fall over. But this is Trapjaw next to She-Ra, and you see here how fantastic they look next to each other, side by side, displayed, look absolutely stunning. And here I have Trapjaw next to the Mondo Deluxe He-Man. And yes, I never reviewed him because he came defective, and it took me a really long time to get the replacement torso. And by the time I got it, the replacement torso, I truly didn't feel like reviewing him. Maybe I will sometime in the future, but he is a spectacular He-Man. And if in any case, just in case you think it's not a deluxe Mondo He-Man, just sit there, right there, relax, I'll be right back. Here we go. Here is He-Man with his Thunder Punch outfit. Just to show you, in case you were in doubt, that he is the deluxe He-Man. I also have the battle armor, but that's in the box put away. So either way, this is how they look like together. And I think they look absolutely stunning side by side. I don't know if I can fit all three in the frame, but let me see if I can. Really fast, here we have them, all three of them within frame of each other. And this should give you a very good idea of how fabulous these figures from Mondo are and look like one right next to each other or one another. So I'm going to go now and conclude the review and give you my final thoughts. Okay guys, and here we have Trapjaw on the spinner. And my final thoughts on Trapjaw is that he is an absolute stunning piece of art. Again, probably the greatest 112 figure ever made. And I know that's saying a lot, but due to the design, the nature of how he looks, how he's designed, because he's so unique, right? I just think he is absolutely incredible. If you do not have one piece of 112 collectible figures and you want to just add just one, this would be the definitive figure to have. Even if you just wanted one to display. And if you're a Masters of the Universe fan, without a doubt, you should not even hesitate on picking him up. Now, I understand, due to the nature of the cost of the figure, it's very difficult for a lot of people. I was very grateful and very humbled and very lucky that I was able to pay for him slowly with the help of my kids, and I'm able to have gotten so far every Mondo, with the exception of the upcoming Panther, because I already got the Battle Cat, and for me to dive into another $500 endeavor, even if it's just playing it slow, it's going to be very, very difficult. Maybe if Mondo's nice enough to send me a sample so that I can review it, that would be fantastic, and that would be very gracious of them, and I would be extremely humble. But that's not going to happen because my channel is not big enough, and I don't have enough love and support to get that kind of support probably from a company like Mondo. But either or, maybe somewhere down the road I might be able to. But I'm just grateful and very blessed to at least have the Trapjaw piece on my collections, you know, thus far with what I have. And I am going to try to pick up the Beastman because he also looks incredible. So guys, I think he's absolutely stunning. He's worth every penny, and you should definitely try to inquire about adding him to your collection. I don't think you'll regret it, not even one bit. So guys, I hope you do have the luck and opportunity to get them, because I know ever since then he's have been sold out. But maybe Mondo will re-release a non-Mondo exclusive version like they've done with the other figures, and you'll be able to get your hands on them. And I know there was also a Filmation color style or color palette style, a Comic Con exclusive or PowerCon exclusive, which also looked incredible. And you know, I know that one was very limited, but again, I wish everybody luck that wants to get their hands on them to be able to get it, because you know, I think you'll be really extremely happy with them. I give it a thumbs up all the way. So give it a thumbs up if you like the review and the video, or give you a thumbs down if you didn't. As per usual, share this video with someone you think might like it. For all of you that continue to give me support, thank you for being here for me always. Because without you, my channel would be nowhere and I would not be sustained. And if you're new to the channel and you like what I do, hey, thank you for stopping by. I welcome you for, you know, to check out all of my other content. And if you like what I do, listen, feel more than comfortable or at home to subscribe, or you know, join, or do whatever needs to be done to follow me, because I know you didn't have to, but since you did do that, if you did, I'm really grateful, really humble, and remember, I'll consider you now part of my family. If you guys want to follow me in any social media platform, it's all down in the description below. You can follow me anywhere from Instagram to Twitter. If you guys would ever like to donate anything to the channel that you want me to highlight or review, like I did Trapjaw here from Mondo, I would be more than gracious to do so. We're more than humble. Just hit me up on one of those DMs on those social media platforms, and we'll work out the particulars. And lastly, if you guys ever want to help my channel out directly from the kindness of your heart, or because you like what I do, you have the means to do it, and you just want to see me grow and you want to help me on that journey to grow, there is a way you can do it. Again, it's not if you know, it's not mandatory. It's only if you want to, and only if you have the means to. You can do it with my PayPal and Patreon information, also down in the description below. So guys, I am your host, Hebot, and this has been another episode of Toys in My Closet. And this is none other than the Mondo 1/6 scale Masters of the Universe Trapjaw figure, which is a Mondo exclusive. I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep collecting, but be careful and be considerate to others, because remember, we're still in trying times. Have a good night, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.